So yeah, done for the most part.
What's missing? Here, you can take the picture.
I'll show you that.
What's going on? Looking for that?
Yes, I
That
am.
was truly.
I don't know.
Yes.
You are?
We were
The holidays.
Yeah, we can get it in next week. What I can do is, I can tell you, it's today, Thursday, I can tell you on Monday exactly what's missing. If we get it by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I can send it.
What? The item is?
It may be that I have
So,
I have to go.
the expenses, like when we were approved with
There's no the amendment.
we said to them that we spend 35,000 is ongoing business. So you can put like
Right, you mean the income from the business.
Exactly. So you know what I'm saying?
And
So we have to say the same thing, even though it's not.
Yeah,
even though it's not.
why am I? But also, when you did that alteration, when was that? A year ago? Or-
Yeah.
When did you complete it?
That's exactly. February, March.
Or of this year, 2015.
No, I use special.
So,
and I'm not
and
special.
since then,
Oh, I know
there
what
have
you're
been no
saying.
changes,
Oh,
right?
this
So
is
really, your
because-
only expenses since then,
Of the
I mean,
zoning.
of the operating business, but your expenses for this purpose is my expense. That's the
We are,
extent of what you
Right.
spend.
Since we got approved with the
The exception.
that's it.
Right.
It's like
We
that's
are.
not the name.
We were
Yes,
sworn
the
in.
name
Looks
is
the
on
same.
here. That's why.
Right, no major purchases, no
I'll go between the
So,
two.
so
Yeah,
the,
okay.
so your expenses for
Yeah.
yours are very low. Theirs are high because they purchased your restaurant. That's a part of their
Right.
expenses, but yours are.
Yeah, but they demonstrated this.
No, I have it. I mean, I'm not saying, yeah, I'm just saying.
So basically, we are together.
Has everybody signed
We are operating together.
Right.
Downstairs.
Yes.
Correct.
Right, until the liquor authority says.
I'll pass it out. Sir, this is just for the.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll just-
That's all your other important papers.
Oh, it's been recording. All right, very good. Oops, didn't want to do that. Let's get that back up. Let's try that. It's probably a little easier. Okay. Okay, we're gonna start this meeting. It is the Economic Development Committee meeting from the Committee Board 10. I am the chair.
And you need to stay a little loud.
Yeah, I am kind of at a low decibel here. I'll speak louder.
That bedroom voice.
Put people.
We're starting the meeting.
Yeah, we're starting the meeting. I will invite Mr. Stephen Hillyer from the Community Outreach and Special Programs. He's the manager for Community Outreach and Special Programs for the Workshop and Business Opportunities, which is a nonprofit organization that provides a 16-week course that teaches entrepreneurs how to start and operate a successful and profitable business.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Thank you. Is there anywhere I should stand?
You should stand right here.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's really a great honor to be here. So I just wanted to drop in and kind of let you know who we are and what we do. We're an organization that was started in 1966, actually here in Harlem, and our class is at the State Building, just down the block. And so we've been running for nearly 50 years, training entrepreneurs and small business owners how to grow and run and operate a successful business. And so over that time, we've trained about 18,000 people, and we do the basics, fundamentals that are across any kind of business. And so really our focus is giving people access to entrepreneurship and small business ownership because it's such a great economic driver. And for that reason, our course is priced very low, and it's also based on income, so it's a sliding scale of how much people pay to really get into the course. So I just want to let you know who we are, what we do, and and hopefully we can be a resource and help in the future as well. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'd love to answer.
The big one. So what are the costs for this particular program?
So the maximum is $275 for the whole 16 weeks, and then based on income, there's a couple thresholds. It goes down to like $225 and then $175. And then we also have special scholarships available if you qualify for the reentry population and also veterans.
Talk a little bit more about the reentry population. What are the criteria involved with that?
So right now we are partnered with an organization, a nonprofit at Fordham. I can't remember what street. It's over by Columbus Circle. And they're called Be the Evidence, and so they're kind of our helping hand when it comes to the reentry population, because they need so many more services, and they really kind of do the hand-holding throughout the whole process, and we supply the business training. So it's wraparound services. It's not just the ordinary. This is a classroom. They do full-time computer training and other kind of things to get them ready to really start a business. And so really the qualifications to be in our program are just that you have a fairly solid idea of what you would like to do, and that you've thought about how you're going to fund it, where you'd like to be at a very low level. And so that's kind of our main things that we focus on.
Do you partner with other organizations that assist businesses and entrepreneurs, like city businesses, city agencies?
Yeah, we're trying to partner with economic development corporations.
EDC?
Yeah, the NYC DC,
Yeah.
but also like the Queens Economic Development Corporation. Excuse me, the Washington Heights Economic Development Corporation. We've worked with a couple assemblymen and council people throughout the city, just to kind of offer the service. And there are a ton of city programs that do some great work and are amazing programs as well, but there are some things that we feel that we offer that kind of give the person a more rounded experience of the basic, very, very basic fundamentals of, this is how you market, this is how you research, all using city resources like the library.
What literature? Yeah, contact information.
For me?
Website. Well,
Yes.
For the general public.
Oh, I have everything's online.
What's the
Yeah.
website?
What's the website?
WIBO.org. You're lucky, I actually have 4 business cards on this one. And I have flyers too and stuff.
Oh, now you're talking.
So I can send all these electronically to Andrew as well.
Yeah, that'd be
Great. Now, you're also, you've got headquarters in Jersey as well?
Yeah, so it's interesting that we do, so there's technically 2 nonprofits that share an administrative staff. And so WIBO is based out of New York, it's always been based out of New York, and then the Institute for Entrepreneurial Leadership is kind of the second partner that is based out of Newark. And so WIBO is really getting people in the door and kind of helping them learn the first steps, and then the Institute for Entrepreneurial Leadership helps people when they're growing or when they've already been in business for some time, maybe struggling or expanding, and need some guidance.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic course, and it's so close by too. It's a really convenient. But we have locations all throughout the city.
What areas have you had the most success in?
So actually Harlem's been one of our most successful, downtown Brooklyn as well. So it's all based on enrollment. I would say Harlem, downtown Brooklyn, and the financial district are our most well-attended courses. I'm not sure whether that's the target population there or if it's easy to transit. But yeah, we've done fairly well.
What are some of the things that entrepreneurs are doing with them? What kind of businesses are they?
So that's the best part, is that there's not, our course doesn't really, doesn't specify, what business you need to be. So it's everything from nonprofits to doctors' offices to hair salons. It's really, literally, you can have all these people sitting in the same room. I've been in a room with a doctor that was sitting next to a masseuse, that was sitting next to a laser therapy person, a guy that wanted to start a security company. So it's a complete, spread of all the different businesses.
Are there any questions about this very good program that is available not only to residents of Harlem, but other parts of the city as well?
How do you guys typically measure success?
So
Businesses that you work with?
that's an interesting question. So, our course, there's a few different measures of success. There are some people, I think it's 82 or 83% of the people that start our course finish. And we think of the people that don't make it all the way through, that's kind of a success metric in itself, is that, maybe didn't have the idea thought out all the way through, or a business wasn't right for you to say no. It's one of them. But then also we track them throughout the years. And so we try and keep in touch and make sure that we can follow up and see who is still in business after 5 years. And our rate is actually 54% of the people who go into business after taking our course are still in business in 5 years. And there are a few different other metrics that we measure too. But it's really just based on who graduates, which seems to be it's about 80-something percent of the population takes it.
Any questions from the community? If not, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Yes.
And we'll definitely spread the word.
Yes, please do. I'll be in touch as well.
Thank you.
Very interesting, thank you.
Yes, no problem. All right, we're going to go right into SLA applications. The first one is Chez Lucien, also, well, it's Malcolm 308 LLC doing business as Chez Lucien at 308 Lenox. Yes, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm Michael Ferraro, representing the gentleman here for this application. You should look at both this one and the next one on your agenda together, just because I'll explain why, and then you can hear from the applicants as well about what they would like to do. So I think those of you who have lived here for several years are familiar with Chez Lucien, which is over a block away to the north of 125th Street. That was started in 2009 by Nadine Chevreau and Alain Chevreau. They have since they want to sell that portion of their business to these gentlemen, to Eric Levy and to Thierry Rizal. So they're going to sell Chez Lucien on the first floor to these gentlemen. And these gentlemen would like to operate Chez Lucien very similar to what's been going on the last, 7 years. You may see subtle differences, but for the most part, you will be going to the same restaurant. What's going to be happening at the same time is Alain Chevreau will be moving upstairs. It's already been opened. I think he was here before you about a year or two ago to open up the restaurant to the second floor. He's going to take over just the second floor and continue to operate the second floor as Gin Fizz, as it's been operated now for a year, not quite a year.
8 months.
8 months, and so he'll focus on that alone. So we're going to the State Liquor Authority to apply for 2 new licenses, one for Chez Lucien on the first floor and one for Gin Fizz on the second floor. But you can ask me or these gentlemen questions about Chez Lucien, what they want to do.
Well, I guess we can start with the applicants that are looking to buy or take over the Chez Lucien. But let's hear a little bit about this.
Sorry, can I just interrupt? I
Sure.
apologize. I handed you the downstairs application. We're starting with, I handed you the upstairs. We're starting with the downstairs. So let me give you this as well. This is from Malcolm 308 LLC, which is Chez Lucien. What the first one I handed you is for the upstairs. I apologize.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you this right now.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Also,
But go ahead.
Okay,
We'll
now-
respond to whatever
now it makes a
questions
lot
you
more
have.
sense.
I
because can
apologize.
see a little bit about, okay. Okay, so I guess one of the first things I want to make sure of is that we have a complete application here. That are there letters of support?
Here, let me give you, I'm sorry, I didn't have a chance to copy them. I have letters of support for Malcolm 308. Can I give that to you? I can copy them and send them back. The first one is our signatures in support. The second one is a letter from a local business. I have an additional one. Okay. We can provide additional ones for both of the applicants, either prior to or at the full board meeting. I apologize, it's just been difficult to attend.
Okay, so you have a letter from Corner Social.
Correct.
And 9 signatures from area residents.
Correct.
Are there residents in the building itself?
My understanding is that there are no residents on that block, so from 125th to 126th on North Next, there are no residents. You know, across the street is the government building primarily, and then on the east side of the street is all shops on the first floor and businesses on the second and third floors. And so for the last, as I said, for 7 years they've been there. You know, they've been a good neighbor, but there's been nobody really to disturb anyway for the most part. But I think for the people that have seen the restaurant, they would agree that they've been a good neighbor.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the 2 establishments currently with liquor licenses.
Sure.
What kind of, if any, disciplinary action from SLA violations, anything of that nature?
My understanding is that there had been none for it's called Le Viking LLC. That's been, as I said, since 2008.
Yeah, there is no.
Never.
Okay, what about, as far as the establishments that associated with those licenses, what about noise complaints, police
None.
action?
We had police came once because of the disturbance, maybe, but we had no really. We never had any issues.
What year was that?
No, they came once because of some, not coming from us actually. It was a disturbance in the street, so they asked us some questions, but you know, nothing transpired from it.
Any kind of 311 complaints against those businesses?
No.
Or any other reasons?
No. We never had an issue with the law.
So the police weren't there for something that happened in your establishment, just outside?
Outside.
Outside.
Yeah.
And the state liquor authority sometimes takes an interest in that if what's going on outside has to do with pumping the inside. It sounds to me like it wasn't the case.
And Shazam LLC, where was that bistro located?
Shazam?
I mean, you owned an interest in Shazam.
Yeah. That was on the 26th and Park Avenue in 2001.
What sort of relationship did you have with the state liquor authority at that time? Were there any issues?
No, I don't remember any issues. It was on for a short period of time, for maybe 1 year, and then sold after 9/11, shortly after 9/11.
The premises are entirely on the second floor. It's a walk-up, and it's not economically feasible for the restaurant to install an elevator.
Right. This is gin pits that we're talking about.
All right.
Why is it not feasible? I mean, I saw that it's not feasible.
Why is it not economically feasible?
It's cost prohibitive.
Sorry, I asked.
No, that's okay. I mean, it's a fair question.
So can you look at me?
It's cost prohibitive. In order to install an elevator, they would have to invest more money than they anticipate making.
So
that limits ADA access upstairs, is that what you mean?
Yes.
Correct.
I just walked in, I'm Maria Garcia.
Sure. Just, let me just explain, I don't know if you heard,
He
but
just
there,
got his
there are
presentation.
two establishments.
Right.
So you're looking at Malcolm 308 LLC, which will be on the first floor. And she was asking about Gin Fizz, which is on the second floor, a separate.
Right, so I have a quick question, because
Sure.
I've been here a million times.
Sure.
Could you clarify if the bathroom is not on the other side? Because I remember always going to the bathroom on this side, so I'm
Take a
sort
look.
of like,
This is the entrance, you understand?
right,
the-
so you
okay.
go to the
May
street
I
level.
want to enter in because you may not be familiar.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
So I enter in through the street level, right, the bar is here, and then there's like a kitchen,
Right.
but isn't the bathroom?
Never.
there?
No,
I
it's been
just-
here, no. I opened the place in 2009. We never moved the bathrooms. That's always been the kitchen and the bathroom had always been here.
Okay, that's my question, because I don't remember the bathroom being on that side.
Yeah,
That's what
no,
I'm trying to-
we never moved anything
Okay.
really. So from the day we,
I still think the bathroom's on the other side. but I
No,
take
no,
it-
no.
Yeah, I take your word for it.
I will tell you.
Yeah. No, you don't have to tell me, it's just that I eat there all the time, so I'm kind of like confused. That was my
No,
question. I was
no,
just
no,
like,
no.
Drink there too.
yeah,
But and thank you for coming by the way.
you're welcome.
The lease is for, how long? How long is the lease for?
About another 9 years.
9 years, okay.
I don't think it's a big one.
So Gin Fizz will have jazz and live music. Any
We do.
amplified sound, any amplified music?
No, the space is below 75 people. It's about a little more than this room right there, 1.5 times the room. So we have like few musicians and it's not noisy, it's well amplified. As a matter of fact, if you have the music upstairs, you don't even hear it downstairs, you don't hear it outside. And basically what we do, especially on Thursday night, we have something called the jam session, where we attract all the musicians from the Harlem area who play usually downtown or midtown or whatever to get together, and they come to the venue and they play, and it's a great gig. It's very, I would think it's great for the neighborhood, and everybody loves it. We never did any complaint about it. You should go to you should Google actually Gin Fizz, because we got some great reviews from the New Yorker, Jazz Time, New York Times. We got also some reviews from the UK, from the United Kingdom. So everybody's spreading about the place. We are very low key jazz venue. People love us. Never complain from the police or customer. So that's where we are right now.
We're going to have 2 managers, 3 hosts, 3 waiters, 2 bussers,
About, yes.
2 bartenders. Full-time, part-time?
Full-time, part-time, it depends. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're gonna have like 1 bartender and 1 manager and 1 hostess. And if it comes like to be Saturday, we have 2 bartenders, 2 hostess, 2 managers. But it's a small place. It seats about 75 people all together, between sitting and standing up on top of it. It doesn't seat 50, it doesn't seat 75 people, it seats about 40, 50 people and 25 people standing up. It's a small space.
What does the fire department say you can hold? What is the code for that?
75.
75.
Okay. And I see number 12, you have a full staff, many of whom are Harlem residents. What percentage of your staff are currently local Harlem?
I would think that, we like to hire people from the immediate area. Personally, I've been a resident of Harlem for the past 15 years. I opened Chez Lucien in 2009. I think I know many people in the area, and I like the area. And the people we hire them because it's very convenient. We want to make sure that people who come, who work with us live close by because it's very convenient for them and it's better for us. So I would think that 90% of the people who work for us are from right here in Harlem.
And I guess you will continue
Of course, yes.
The same hiring practice. The questions from the board that have not already been addressed.
Briefly, what's the difference between Gin Fizz and Chez Lucien?
Well, I'm sorry, I can answer that. Chez Lucien is the first floor, so Chez Lucien is like a French fare, classic, comfortable food, and then you go upstairs and you have a nice lounge.
Yeah, what's
I was
the
in the
difference
Gin
upstairs?
Fizz.
Okay.
It's this small, oh, sorry. Yes, you're the expert. Should be.
So you want to ask me? So upstairs it's like so I tell you, it's Saturday night, you come downstairs, you have a nice dinner with us and everything, a steak au poivre, onion soup, whatever, then you decide to go up, then it's going to be loungy, jazzy, and have a drink, and that's it.
Gotcha.
The same kitchen, servicing both
Yeah,
levels?
same kitchen, yeah. The kitchen, as a matter of fact, you don't have to eat downstairs. You can go upstairs and eat the food from downstairs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
So the only difference is music.
It's connected, yeah, it's connected actually, yeah. Exactly. The fact we're serving, the menu, we have a menu upstairs, so let's clarify. We have the menu that we serve from Gin Fizz is actually the menu from Chez Lucien.
Gotcha.
But just to be clear, they are two separate businesses. They just have this relationship where the downstairs serves the food upstairs.
I just want to know why they're selling,
I can answer that too. Because personally, I don't want to deal with food anymore. So Eric, who's been working with me for many years, I said, okay, why don't you take the downstairs and then we deal with the upstairs. So they deal with the headaches, with the food.
So you just want to do the fun stuff upstairs?
Exactly. And at the end of the day, it's always better to separate the liquor license. You just never know. If something happens, it's better to have two separate liquor licenses. Right now, we are working all together, but we just want to separate eventually. I mean, we will be friends, but we just want, in case of whatever reason,
And how many people are hireable downstairs, like in Chez Lucien? How many people?
About 15, 20 full-time altogether,
The current staff.
Yeah, 50, but there is a lot of, it's very
Combination of
difficult,
both
it's
ways.
very difficult to say because there is a lot of part-time people. There is several people who work only 1 day a week. Several people who can only work on Wednesday. So it's, it's like full-time, part-time, 15, 20, something upstairs, like 10, 12. All together, between upstairs and downstairs, about 30, 35 people, full-time, part-time.
How many positions per evening would you have?
It depends. Like for example, unfortunately, like in January, February, when the weather is cold on a Monday night, Tuesday night, we only gonna have like 4, 5, 6 people between upstairs and downstairs. If it's like the middle of June, beautiful weather, Friday, Saturday, we have like 20, 25 people working between downstairs and upstairs. It all depends on the weather, the time of the year, and everything.
So I have a question. So this sounds wonderful. I'm a big supporter of Chez Lucien.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
However, one of the things that's concerning, because our most avid advocate for disability is not here, and so you can eat downstairs, but if you have a disability, you can't get upstairs. Is there any way that, have you found a way to allow someone that is unable to walk up the stairs to get them upstairs? I understand the cost is prohibitive, but is there,
chairs?
or whatever way,
I-
a man lift, the Egyptian style, whatever you do.
That I would have to look into it personally. We would have to speak to the Department of Building. Then you have to go through, is it possible? Does the building permit it? Then then I have to speak to the landlord. Does he want to spend money into putting an elevator? It's probably a big issue to deal with. I would be very happy to look into it. I'm not sure what the cost would be. I'm not sure how long it would take. I would assume it would be costly. And as far as the time goes, it would take probably several years for us to be able to achieve this if the owner of the building wants to deal with it. Because at the end of the day, I'm not an expert, but I would assume that he's the one who will decide. He's going to say, look, I don't want to spend X amount of dollars for your interest, so I'm not sure how it would work, but
I would agree with his point is that the landlord will have the final say on alterations to the space.
Right,
So if-
I'm actually not even asking about that specifically. I'm asking, I don't care how it's done. So if I have a disability and I also would like to enjoy listening
The
to
jazz
music
music.
upstairs, how do you get me upstairs is up to you. But the
reason
question
this is
is
important.
there a way
We're
for
gonna
us?
catch hell.
So the question,
Right,
right,
it's not that simple, I think it's
No, no, I
a
mean-
human
We'll
rights
hear
thing,
about
it's
it.
more than just catching hell.
but I think the question is,
No, we don't object to the question, it's a
Right.
fair question. I think well, part of what you're asking is, well, what if somebody was willing, the
Right.
disabled person was willing to be carried up the stairs?
Of course.
I think that would be fine. It's there are issues with the willingness of that person and the dignity and they may be uncomfortable by such.
The various organizations are leaning on us heavily, and they're going to,
Right.
right? But there's not a way, we're gonna hear from them. I can guarantee that.
well, we need it on record.
And,
well,
that's-
I appreciate that, by the way, and it should be put on records, and if need be, I will make a formal inquiry about, how it can be achieved, and obviously, at the end of the day, it's not going to be up to us, so.
we would love some kind of justification to save our hides.
What we could do is we could tell you.
Self-preservation, right?
But we could tell you what sort of costs would be involved. We could research
If
into it.
you could just produce documentation.
Okay.
Maybe they agree with the landlord.
Make a notation.
Anything
Sure.
that-
We're thinking of the constituency of the community that are not able to get around,
Right,
you know?
absolutely.
And I mean, that's good for you, it's good for your business as well. If it's ADA compliant, then they're able to spend money there too and appreciate fine art as well. So if you could do that, it would be a great benefit for us.
I don't know, maybe we can put those, I see the commercial antiques,
Chair.
sometimes, where you
Chair.
put
Chair.
the. I don't
Not
know.
an elevator.
So we look into all of the possibilities. We look into all the
The
possibilities.
elevator may not be.
For myself, I'm gonna be looking to
Okay.
Are there any,
justify that I can talk to the community about it. I don't wanna have to do the research, make up my own story. I'm gonna
be looking for you to give me the answer. All right, so you'll get the answer.
thank you.
if there are no other questions from the board, I'm gonna ask if there are questions from the audience. If not, I'm gonna thank you for the presentation. We'll go right into the next one.
Thank you. I just want to ask you, I'm sorry, you
Well,
want?
I just want to know, going forward, what should we expect right now? What should we be prepared to come, I think, to the full board meeting?
Absolutely.
Okay, and then, will you expect?
We want to answer at the full board meeting about.
No, we have
Right,
not.
right. But beyond that, I'm not talking anything further beyond that. We'll make a similar presentation, I assume, and should we expect anything else?
I realize that there are not a lot of residents in the area where Shapley's is, so.
If that works in our
Yeah, I do
favor.
understand. This is a commercial space.
Sure.
and so it's not typical,
So, do you have a time frame about, for me, that's my question, about, it should be like in another month, the full board meeting or whatever?
No, the full board meeting is